You've been making a mistake, and it's costing you leverage. You talk too much. You explain your plans before they exist. You share ideas while they're still fragile. You announce what you're about to do, hoping for validation. And every time you do it, something breaks. Momentum disappears. Confidence leaks. People stop taking you seriously. From the perspective of primal psychology, this isn't openness, it's exposure. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is pressure. And the most dangerous skill a man can learn is knowing when to stay silent. Look closely at men who control situations. They don't narrate their future. They don't explain their intentions. They don't rush to clarify misunderstandings. They observe. They wait. They move quietly. Meanwhile, you've been doing the opposite. You speak when you feel excited. You share plans when you feel motivated. You explain yourself so people won't misjudge you. But primal psychology does not reward transparency. It rewards restraint. Here is the first truth. The moment people know your plans, they begin reacting to them. Some will doubt you. Some will discourage you. Some will envy you. Some will compete with you quietly. Some will drain your energy without you noticing. None of that helps you. Robert Greene explains this clearly. He writes that when you reveal your intentions too early, you give others time to interfere, prepare, and sabotage. Now think about how this plays out in real life. You tell someone what you're working on. They question it. They poke holes in it. They project their fears onto you. Even if they mean well, your focus fractures. Now instead of executing, you're defending. That defense weakens commitment. From a primal psychology standpoint, this is fatal to momentum. In early human environments, revealing intention before execution was dangerous. If others knew your move, they could block it, exploit it, steal it. Modern life hasn't changed this. It has just disguised it as conversation. When you talk about your future, your brain releases reward chemicals, as if the work were already done. That reward reduces urgency. This is why so many men talk about goals. They never complete. They consumed the reward in advance. Primal psychology teaches a brutal rule. Execution thrives in silence. Power grows in isolation. Results are revealed, not announced. This is why experienced men speak less. They've learned that predictability kills power. The more people can read you, the easier you are to manage. Information is leverage. Every unnecessary word is a leak. Carl Jung warned about this from another angle. He said that what is made conscious too early loses its power. Now think about that. When you expose a plan too soon, you drag it into the conscious world. Before it's strong enough to survive it, you invite scrutiny, judgment, comparison. The idea collapses under weight. It wasn't meant to carry yet. This is why some of your best ideas died after you talked about them. Not because they were bad, because they were premature. Silence protects incubation. From a primal psychology lens, what is hidden gains strength. Now consider mystery. Mystery is not manipulation. It's a consequence of discipline. When you don't overshare, people lean in. When you don't explain everything, people pay attention. When you don't announce your next move, people wait. That waiting creates gravity. Primal psychology is clear on this. Attention follows uncertainty. Certainty is boring. Predictability is safe. Safety destroys intrigue. This is why men who overshare become invisible over time. They remove tension. Now let's talk about plans specifically. Why speaking about your plans early weakens you. When you tell someone what you're going to do, you lock yourself into a psychological contract. Now you feel watched. Now you feel judged. Now you feel pressure to perform for others. That pressure fractures focus. Instead of moving forward, you start managing perception. You explain delays. You justify changes. You defend decisions you haven't finished making. Silence removes all of that. Silent men move freely. They pivot without explanation. They adapt without apology. They fail privately and succeed publicly. This is why powerful men appear unpredictable, not chaotic, unpredictable. They don't leak their future. They let outcomes speak. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He warned that men who reveal intentions invite resistance. Power, he wrote, is preserved through controlled visibility. Now look at an example. A man tells everyone he's about to make a major move. A career change, a business launch, a personal transformation. Immediately, opinions flood in. Doubt, advice, criticism. Contrast that with the man who says nothing. Works quietly, disappears for months, then reappears with results. Which man commands respect? Primal Psychology answers without hesitation. Status is inferred from behavior, not promises. Men who talk signal need. Men who act signal certainty. Certainty attracts. Certainty creates gravity. Certainty makes others follow. Now let's address a mistake. Many men confuse silence with weakness. They think staying quiet means losing ground. They think speaking up means asserting power. But assertion without leverage is noise. Silence, when chosen, is dominance. Think about the man who doesn't rush to speak. He listens. He pauses. He answers slowly. That man controls tempo. And in any interaction, the man who controls tempo controls outcome. Speed reveals anxiety. Calm reveals strength. This applies everywhere. Conversations, negotiations, relationships, conflict. The fastest speaker is rarely the strongest. He is usually the most uncomfortable with silence. Now let's talk about mystery again. Mystery is not created by pretending. It's created by omission. When you don't explain everything, people project. They fill gaps with assumptions. And those assumptions often elevate you. From a primal psychology perspective, what cannot be read becomes threatening. Not aggressive, uncontrollable. And uncontrollable things demand respect. Now let's make this practical. What does knowing when to stay silent actually look like? It does not mean being cold. It does not mean being antisocial. It does not mean hiding. It means choosing what deserves your words. It means answering without adding extra. It means speaking with purpose. It means keeping plans private until execution is complete. It means resisting the urge to narrate your life. Narration is a request for validation. Primal psychology is clear on this. Men who seek validation are easy to influence. Men who don't become autonomous. Autonomy is power. Every time you speak, you are teaching people how to treat you. If you explain too much, they learn to question you. If you justify too often, they learn to challenge you. If you announce everything, they learn they don't need to take you seriously until results appear. Silence reverses this dynamic. Silence teaches others to wait, to observe, to respect. Now let's talk about recognition. This is where most men fail. They want to be seen. They want acknowledgement. They want credit before completion. But primal psychology does not reward intention. It rewards outcome. Men who master silence understand this. They allow underestimation. They allow doubt. They allow noise. And then they move. Quietly, decisively, irreversibly. Now let's bring in another insight from Robert Greene. He explains that obscurity is often protection. When others do not know your direction, they cannot block your path. Now consider an example. A man quietly builds skill for years. No announcements, no social proof, no explanations. Then one day he steps into a new position effortlessly. Everyone calls it luck. It wasn't luck, it was silence. Now let's talk about relationships. Oversharing destroys polarity. When you reveal every thought, every insecurity, every plan, you remove tension. Mystery disappears. Attraction fades. Silence restores polarity. It creates space. It makes attention valuable. From a primal standpoint, what is scarce is desired. Words are no exception. Now here is the uncomfortable truth. Silence requires internal strength. Because silence means tolerating misunderstanding. It means letting others be wrong about you. It means resisting the urge to correct. It means trusting your direction. This is why silence is dangerous. Not to others, to systems that rely on compliance. A man who cannot be rushed verbally, cannot be pushed psychologically. He does not react on cue. He does not reveal prematurely. He does not surrender leverage. He becomes hard to control. Now let's end with a final frame. You don't need to disappear. You don't need isolation. You need discipline with your words. Speak when it matters. Act without announcement. Reveal only what's already done. That is the most dangerous skill a man can learn, because once you master silence, you master timing. And timing from the perspective of primal psychology is everything.